Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. It is going to be all about the new Colourpop collection that is available now. This is their Sunflower collection. Oh yes, I'm excited for this one. So Colourpop did send this over. I asked on my Instagram stories if you wanted to see a video with the collection, and a lot of you said yes. So I'm going to be going through the collection, showing everything, swatches of everything, and then I am going to be showing 2 looks with the collection. So I'm really excited to bring you that. So if you're curious to hear more about the new Sunflower collection, let's go ahead and get started. So jumping into the collection, like I said, Colourpop did send this over to me, which I was so excited about, and I wanted to sit down right away. I just got it today. Wanted to sit down. I'm hoping to get this put up as quickly as I can. I was really excited when I saw it though, because sunflowers, oh, sunflowers. If you guys follow me on Instagram or maybe even on Twitter, you might have known that my husband and I planted sunflowers this year in our yard and around our garden, and they have made us so happy. Checking on their progress, watching them grow, watching them get taller. I love to name things, and I had you guys help me name some of the sunflowers. The 2 that we had in the garden were Kevin and Lucille, and they were guarding our garden, and they were so great. So when the sunflower collection came out from Colourpop, I started getting so many messages and tags and DMs about them. People were saying that they were doing it in honor of my sunflowers because unfortunately, we lost one in the derecho that hit Iowa a couple weeks ago. Basically, we had a landlocked hurricane hit the Midwest. I'm gonna leave a link in my description box of different ways to help out, because Iowa is actually still really struggling. Where my brother lives, they still do not have power. I think on the day that I'm filming, they are going on 11 or 12 days now without power. You know, businesses that were already struggling during the COVID-19 crisis are struggling even more now in Iowa, because unfortunately, unlike when a hurricane lands, there's usually a lot of warning and preparation. We had 0 warning. I mean, we had 0 warning that anything was coming. So unfortunately, we lost one of the sunflowers, which, you know, thankfully that is the only damage that we had. We had a tree fall on our fence, but our fence was okay. And really the only thing that we lost was a sunflower, which was still sad for me, but in the scope of what happened here in Iowa and in the Midwest, I'm pretty thankful for that. But the sunflower that we lost, his name was Kevin. Kevin was a good sunflower. Kevin was a good guard over our garden. And so when this collection came out, so many people were tagging me that this was done in memory of Kevin. So thank you so much, Colourpop. Really appreciate that you did this for him. Well, hopefully I've shared some photos here on the screen of Kevin and Lucille, and yeah, it was a big highlight of my day to go out and watch them grow. So when I saw this, it just made me happy. It just made me happy, and I knew I just wanted to sit down and play with this and have some fun. Thank you for listening to that though. I appreciate it very much. Jumping into the collection, we have the eyeshadow palette. This is the Lil Ray of Sunshine palette. This is a 9-pan all matte palette. I love my mattes. And this is the Lil Ray of Sunshine, and this retails for $14. This is the first all matte 9-pan palette from Colourpop, which I thought was really cool. I'd like to think something a little bit different, because I felt like some of the more recent releases from Colourpop have been very pastel, which that is very on trend. So Colourpop did have to shut down for quite some time during COVID, so I'm sure a lot of these releases were, you know, about ready to go and had to be delayed. So I think that there's probably some catch-up being done. Again, that's just my speculation. I don't know that for sure, but it wouldn't shock me the way that Colourpop was, how their release schedule was before having to shut down. I bet they are trying to catch back up. So a lot of the past collections have leaned a little bit more on the pastel. So I was actually really glad to see this. I felt like it was different from what they've been releasing the past several new collections here. I'll do a close-up of the palette and some swatches, and to go through the shadows, we have Sun's Out, which is a pale pastel yellow, Vitamin D, which is a light yellow, Happy Place, a pale lemon yellow, Blissed Out, mid-tone mustard yellow, Sunny's is a vibrant marigold, Vibey is a golden honey yellow, Limoncello, a warm apricot, Chillin', a warm chestnut, and Sun Giant is a chocolate brown. I'm a big fan of this palette. If I hadn't been sent this in PR, I would have bought this from Colourpop, not only for the sunflower nostalgia of it, but I love the colors. It does scream very much fall to me. That's all right though. That's all right though. Moving on, there are 2 Super Shocks in this collection. You can either buy the duo and that retails for $10. You can purchase them separately and they are $6. So In Harmony is a yellow gold. And then the other one in the collection is called Flower Child, and this one is a champagne gold. So I do also have a look at where I will use the Super Shocks. Flower Child is really beautiful. I will gush about that when I do the tutorial part of it, but this is one that I could see myself buying for my collection, because even though I'm not always a huge Super Shock fan, but this one was just special. When I find those Super Shocks that I feel like add something special to my collection, that's when I am willing to grab one, and out of those 2, Flower Child was my favorite. Our 2 creme gel eyeliners in the collection, these are super cute packaging with the sunflowers on them. The Sub Zero, which is more of your gold, metallic gold, and then Sunnyvale, which is a matte brown. These retail for $6 each. Our 2 ultra glossy lips in the collection, again, they have the sunflower detail on them, which I think is really pretty. They are both pretty light, but also pretty like sparkly and shiny lip glosses. The one that I use today is in Always Sunny. These retail for $7, and Always Sunny is described as sheer with golden pinpoints. And then the other one is in Sun Soaked. Sun Soaked is described as a warm pale nude with golden pinpoints, and this does have a brush style applicator on them. And then we have a product from Soul Body and Fourth Ray Beauty included in this collection. From Soul, we have Lemon Drop, and this is a mini shimmering dry oil, and this retails for $10. And then from Fourth Ray Beauty, we have a face oil. So that also retails for $10. That is the full collection from Colourpop Cosmetics, their Sunflower collection. I do want to show you the 2 different looks that I used with this collection, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Starting off with look 1, this is going to be my matte look. So I'm first picking up the yellow in the center of the palette on a Sigma E25. The shade is called Sunnies, and I'm going to start to apply that into my crease and just work it back and forth and kind of flick it out here on the outer part of my eye. And I am bringing it pretty far in too, and just a little bit higher and a little bit lower my crease. Taking a larger brush and picking up Happy Place in the first row. It's just kind of more of a muted yellow, and I'm gonna run that above my crease right at the very top of where I placed that first yellow shade, and just blend it back and forth. I'm picking up a Limoncello in the bottom row, which is more of a matte brown. I'm using a Sigma, I think this is the E35, but my writing is like all worn away on this one. And I'm just going to start that on the outer part of my eye. I like this brush because it comes to a point, because I want to run it on the lash line, but then I also want to have it in the crease and then just kind of slightly blend it into that yellow color while still kind of flicking it out a little bit. It starts to turn this a little bit orangey, and I just felt like I was getting a lot of sunflower vibes when I started to mix these shades together. Picking up this darker matte brown, this is called Sun Giant, and I'm using just a tiny little brush here. This is from BK Beauty. This is the 208, and I'm going to use this shadow as a liner and kind of flick it out. And I'm just really focusing this shade on the outer part of my eye, running it really close to my lash line, and then I'm just going to start to lightly flick it out there. Right, grabbing Vitamin A, I think this one is in the top row, and I'm just using kind of this domed brush here from Refer, and I'm just gonna hit this right on the inner part of my eye. Again, I wanted this to be an all matte look, but this space was a little bit blank, so I just wanted to put something down. So real quick like. Right, for my waterline, I'm going to use the brown liner. This one is in Sunnyvale. And for my lower lash line, once again, picking up Sunny's. And I'm gonna really blend that out. Using the small liner brush, I'm gonna grab kind of this more red toned shade on the bottom. It is called Chillin'. And I'm gonna put this shade really close to my lash line. Then I'm gonna grab some more Limoncello with the Sigma brush. And I'm gonna use that to kind of blend those other shadows together. Alright, that's it. I'm just gonna add my mascara. I'm trying out this one from Hourglass. I have this in my most recent Sephora haul. This is their Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara. I thought it was really nice, so this will complete the look. So this is it for look one, the all matte look here. I love this. I will be rocking this again. I love how the colors turned out, and it really does just give me like full on sunflower vibes. Like I am really feeling on this look. I did add just a little bit of lip liner. It is the little one lip liner from Colourpop because I took some pictures of the matte look before I move over to one with the Super Shock shadows. But there is the first look, and let's hop over to look number 2. To get started on the second look, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my headband back on just because I like it. I also forgot to mention, don't make fun of my brows, okay? I used a new brow pencil for the first time today, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that when I'm gonna be really zoomed in on my eye area. But I'm trying out the new brow pen from Benefit Cosmetics. It's their like microblading at home pen. I mean, it was my first time. I think I did pretty good, but I wouldn't say this is my absolute best brow day. So just wanted to mention that. But hopping back into another look here. So first I'm going to use the more gold Super Shock shadow. This is In Harmony, which looks like so. I'm going to first start with a brush. I might switch to my fingers, but I'm going to start with the Colourpop E4 first. Sometimes Super Shocks, most times they're better applied with your finger, but if you know me, I just don't like makeup on my fingers. I don't know what it is. So we'll try it first. We might switch though. And I'm just going to start to place this kind of right in the center of the lid. I think I'm gonna have to use my finger. I don't know what it is, but a lot of you tell me that you're the same way, and it makes me not feel so bad, okay? So I'm just gonna use some on my finger here. Yeah, you can probably see the difference. And I'm gonna start to add this to the center of my lid. I also just feel like I can't get as much like precise control when I use my finger. It's kind of like a free-for-all. Hopefully it goes in the spot I want it to. I'm just gonna kind of like flick it up into my crease too. I just want to make this one like super shimmery. The color is actually really beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of gold. Like, it's not my most reached for color, I would say. But something about this one is actually really cool because it's more of like I don't know, a yellow gold versus like just straight gold. I like that though. And coming in with the other Super Shock in the collection, and this one is Flower Child. I'm first gonna use a Colourpop E10, and I just want this shade to go like right on the inner corner and then as a highlight shade also. Try it with a brush first because this is gonna be really hard for me to use with my fingers. I'm just gonna add it for a bit of sparkle. I feel like this is working well with the brush. I love it right here in the inner corner. I think that is so pretty. Man, I really liked the all matte look, and I like all matte looks, but this is also really gorgeous. And this particular Super Shock is so pretty. Like, it's glittery and it's not too sheer. This is a nice one. This shade, Flower Child, I was not expecting to love this one, but like, I'm really glad that I decided to use it. Like I said, I did use the little one, the little one lip liner from Colourpop, and then I'm just gonna come in with this ultra glossy lip. This one is in Always Sunny, and I'm just going to apply this on top. It has the brush tip and looks really sparkly. She is a shiny gloss. It's very light, so for me that's why I like to wear a lip liner underneath to not only line my lips but like fill them in a little bit, because I like to have a lip color on, but I feel like this would be very sheer on its own. But that is one glossy lip. It has a lot of sparkle in it too, and I feel like that can really come across. But for the eye look, this is look number 2 using the palette and also the 2 Super Shocks in the collection. I love this look also. I love them both. Now that you've seen the 2 looks, I just want to wrap up with some final thoughts using this collection for the first time. Again, this is a first impression since I just got this, but thought I could share my thoughts with you. The Lil Ray of Sunshine palette, I definitely really like. Again, this would have been a palette that I would have purchased myself because it's something that I would really enjoy in my collection. I like that it's a 9-pan. I like smaller palettes. I like that it's an all matte palette. Looking at it, and even when I sat down to film today, I have so many different ideas with it. I feel like there's a lot that I can do, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this, especially as we start to transition over into some fall looks. But I'm really impressed with it. I like the Colourpop eyeshadow quality, and the mattes in here, all of them that I've tried have been really great. Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge Super Shock lover. I don't have a gigantic collection of them, but when I find something that's a little bit special, that's when I tend to get excited. And for me, out of this one, it's Flower Child. Right when I started putting this on my eyes, I was like, hold up, I think I'm gonna like this one. So this could be a really beautiful topper, an inner corner highlight, but I think I'm going to gravitate towards this one a lot. So this was another favorite from the collection. If you like a gold, I still liked this gold. I thought it was really pretty when I used it. I'm just not as much of a gold lover. I like that this one has a lot of yellow to it. I think that's really pretty. I think that these make great partners to the palette, and with these only being $6, or you can purchase the 2 for $10. I think that's a good way if you like the palette but you're like, oh, I really want some shimmers in there. This is a good way to do it. Or of course, Colourpop has a lot of other Super Shock shadows, so there's always another one you could reach for if you think would make a good companion with the palette. Not a huge fan of the Colourpop lip products. I love their lip liners, but the ultra glossy lips sometimes can just be a little bit too goopy. I've noticed a couple times catching myself like wanting to rub my lips together because I feel like it can kind of gather in, especially like the corners of my lips, if that makes sense. So those aren't always my favorite. I think out of like the ultra matte lips and even some of the luxe lipsticks, I would say the glossy lips tend to be higher for me. Like I like them a little bit more, but again, I just don't know if I would say that they're an absolute favorite. The one that I used today in Always Sunny, I do think that it's really pretty. I find myself being a little bit self-conscious when I'm wearing them. So those are the ultra glossy lips. The liners, the gel liners from Colourpop are actually really nice. I liked these a lot when they first came out, and I think they were discontinued for a while, but then they came back. These are really good eyeliners. Once again, especially for the price, they're really easy to put into the waterline. They're not the absolute most long wearing eye pencil, but I would still say that they have a pretty decent wear time on them. So those are the pencils. And then the products from Soul Body and Fourth Ray Beauty I haven't tried today. Neither of those products I would really gravitate towards myself, but they are included in the collection if that is something that you feel like would fit your needs. But after that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I really hope that you found it helpful, going over the Sunflower collection from Colourpop, showing the swatches, the 2 different looks, and then just kind of giving my first thoughts here at the end. I would definitely love to know what you think of this collection. Have you purchased anything for yourself? Are you planning to purchase anything? I always love to know. And thank you so much for letting me talk a little bit about what happened in Iowa here. Again, I will have a link in my description box if you are looking for a way that you could help, or just to learn a little bit more about what happened. I think it's really good to be informed, and again, I don't feel like it was being talked about very often. Check my description box for that link. Other than that though, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.